Earlier today, Chinese state media posting an editorial calling the Trump administration policy on trade, quote, self-defeating and a symptom of paranoid delusions. Joining us now to respond is Andy Puzder, policy advisor for America First Policies, former CEO of CKE Restaurants. Good to have you here, sir.
Great to be here, Michelle.
There was a point where you were supposed to be labor secretary. If you were in the administration right now, would you be able to defend the trade policies that the government is pursuing here? A lot of corporations are very concerned about them.
Well, look, I think these trade policies are very defensive. I think there's a difference between using tariffs to try and give American businesses an advantage, as was the case in the Depression, as your prior guest mentioned, and what's happening today, which is an attempt to level the playing field that's already tilted against American businesses, to stop the flood of products into the United States, and to really get our trading partners to trade with us on a fairer basis. They certainly have a lot more to lose from a trade war or from a trade dispute than the United States does. I think what you see in Europe and China right now is they're testing this president's resolve. They're trying to find out if, with an election pending, where if the House of Representatives flips, you could end up with the Democrats trying to impeach the president. They're trying to see whether the president will stick to the things he said are non-negotiable, or whether coming up to an election he'll start to negotiate points he said were non-negotiable. And I think they'll find this president has the courage of his convictions.
The president does seem to have a high tolerance for political pain, but does the population, do American businesses, do American workers share that tolerance for pain if and when they start to see prices going up on goods that used to cost whatever they cost and are now 10% X higher?
That's a good question, but I think the context you need to look at it in is we all benefit from lower priced goods because other countries send inexpensive products to the United States. If you're on government benefits or whether you're a multi-billionaire, you benefit from products being lower priced. The problem is the people that elected Donald Trump, the people in Pennsylvania, Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin, working class people, they get all the pain from those prices being lowered. They lose the jobs, they lose the businesses. So I think that you have to look at different segments of the American economy differently. I think working class Americans, they noticed, they saw that these trade relationships were not benefiting them, and they elected a president to change that.
So
and I think that's what Donald Trump's going to do.
Is it a miscalculation on the part of the administration or on the part of Republicans to back this policy on trade to try and exact as much as we can in terms of tariffs and trade? When you compare it, for instance, to the Chinese population, they are very nationalistic. They'll do whatever President Xi says, and President Xi, for all intents and purposes, is elected for life. There are no elections there. I mean, there is a lot to lose on the part of the Trump administration and Republicans at large.
There's a lot to lose politically if this doesn't work, and if, in fact, the polling is accurate with respect to this next election, where it was so inaccurate with the prior election. I don't see why it would be accurate with this election. But there is a lot to lose politically, but there's a lot to be gained if we can stick to the courage of our convictions, if we can stick to this policy to try and level that playing field, not tilt it towards America, not tilt it away from our trading partners, but level it, get it to a point where we can actually trade on a fair basis as well as a free basis with our international trading partners. And there is a lot to be gained from that, and you may not gain it before this November. So there's a risk, and this president seems to be willing to take risks if he can do what he believes is in the best interest of the American people. And he firmly believes that with respect to his trade policy.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.